Okay, so in this video, I want to look at video analysis or using Gemini 1.5 for basically processing videos, extracting information out of the videos, asking questions about the video, that kind of thing. So the video that I've chosen to do is a talk by Jeff Dean that was just posted a couple of days ago. So this is basically Jeff Dean giving a talk about some of the recent trends in machine learning. And this is something that Jeff has done over the years many times, has given some really fantastic talks of just explaining what Google's up to, what their thinking is, that kind of thing. So of course, in this talk, there's going to be things about Gemini. So what I want to see is, can we use Gemini 1.5 and this 1 million token context window to basically go through this and to process, okay, where he talks about Gemini, perhaps some of the things about Gemini in here. So one of the challenges that we have in here is that getting the actual video up in Google AI Studio. So to get the video up, I've actually edited down from about 1 hour and 8 minutes down to about, I think it's about 50 minutes or something like that, so that we could actually fit it in the context window. And then we actually have to load this in, and it's actually going to have to tokenize it. This alone can take a fair bit of time. I've basically set this up. I'm going to now pause the video, let it do the tokenizing before we actually start to ask it some questions and ask it some things about this. Now, it's worth noting that while I'm uploading this, even though I'm uploading a video which has audio in it, this version of Gemini 1.5 Pro currently doesn't support audio. So it's going to strip the audio out, and we're just going to have the video in here. So I'm going to do two things with this. I'm going to basically ask it some questions without any audio. So we're just relying really on the slides of the talk. For example, if we click through, you can see that there are slides through his talk. And basically from the slides, we can get a decent sense of what he's actually talking about. We can also get the actual time spots that he's talking about each of these. The second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take a whisper transcription of this talk, and I'm going to upload it with the video. So then we'll ask some questions that are utilizing both the video and the actual transcript in here. So I find that the YouTube transcripts are not as good as the whisper transcripts. So I've just thrown this into a simple script that I have for doing diarization and doing transcripts. And I'll take that text file and I'll basically put it in here. Okay, so we can see that the video now is up here, and we can see that this video is just over 50 minutes long, and it's taking currently 801,000 tokens of the 1 million context window. Okay, so I'm starting out with a really simple prompt. So we're passing in the video, and I'm just going to prompt it. Can you tell me who is giving this talk and a general short summary of what the talk is about? So you'll notice that this time I'm actually using the chat interface rather than the freeform interface. If I click this now, it's going to start off processing. And you will find, because this video is quite long, that the inference times do take a decent amount of time to actually get through this. This can be sort of anything from 1.5 minutes up to, I've had it at times also be 3 minutes long to basically get an answer back. So it's just like a timeout while this is basically processing. One of the things I would say is a lot of people jumping to the conclusion and saying that things like RAG are dead because of this million context window. That's far from true, right? RAG still is going to be used probably the majority of the time. Even if you've got access to a really long context window, just the time for processing and the cost for processing is not going to make sense to actually use that all of the time, as opposed to using RAG and getting stuff back for this. All right, so we can see that it's come back with our answer. So the talk has been given by Jeff Dean, Chief Scientist of Google Research and Google DeepMind. He's discussing exciting trends in machine learning, including the development of large language models and multimodal models. Also discusses the importance of data quality and the need for new evaluation methods. I think later on, he also, in the sort of 15 minutes plus that I cut off, he goes into a lot more stuff about, or at least some more stuff about actually text to image models and stuff like that, and text to video models in there. But okay, let's see from this. It probably makes sense that, okay, it's going to be able to get his particular details, because sure enough, if we come in, first thing that we can see is this, right? So we've basically got this one slide that's right at the start that is giving us a lot of this information in here. So it's done quite a good and simple job at getting that out. Okay, so I'm going to ask it just where is the talk being held while we're looking at this. And again, this is a reasonably simple question that it probably should be able to get. This is the kind of question, though, that might not be actually in the transcript, right? So this is where having the visual component really helps, as well as having the transcript. Now, I haven't actually put the transcript in here yet, so I'm not relying on anything from that in here. Okay, so the models come back with the answer, and sure enough, it's correct that the talk is being held at Rice University's Ken Kennedy Institute. And if we look at the sort of presentation, we can see that's clearly mentioned a lot of the time. So that's not surprising. That it's still impressive that it can get that, but it's probably not too surprising that it can get that. All right, what I want to ask it next is I want to ask it, when does he start talking about Gemini? So I know that the start of the talk, he does a bit of history about large language models and the idea of language modeling and going from RNNs to transformers. And then I think he mentions also about the Mina paper for chatbots and conversational agents, stuff like that. So what I want to see is, okay, when does he actually get to Gemini? Because if that's what we're interested in, we want to be able to query this to find this answer out pretty quickly. Now, again, we're basing this purely on no transcript, no audio. So my guess is that we're looking for the first time Gemini gets mentioned in a slide or substantially mentioned in a slide here as we go through. Okay, you can see we're at 75 seconds in before it basically comes back with an answer. So that's a long time for this. All right. So Jeff Dean starts talking about Gemini at around the 25-minute mark in the video. He begins discussing the progress of neural language models over the past 15 years, starts with okay, so we've got a nice discussion of this, sort of bringing this up to Gemini. So let's jump in and actually look at this. So if we're looking for, we can see, sure enough, there's the attention is all you need, the transformer paper in there. In fact, we'll come back and ask a question about that in a second. And we can see, sure enough, around, let's see, 25-minute mark, we can see, okay, Gemini's mentioned there. Let me just turn off the audio. We can see that sure enough, Gemini is mentioned there and coming up on the next slide. So we're just past the 25-minute mark here. So I guess this is where it's saying that he's talking about it. Okay. And sure enough, at 25 minutes and 25 seconds, we get the Gemini slide in here. So it's done a pretty good job of this. Now, I played around with this when I was just thinking of some ideas to do in here. And sometimes it will actually give you a very precise point. And it's usually within either a few seconds to half a minute of actually where it's talking about this in here. Okay, so I mentioned that we'd come back to the attention is all you need paper. What I'm curious is if we ask it a needle in the haystack question. One of the key authors on that paper is Noam Shazeer. So we know that he's mentioned, he's listed as one of the authors in there. Okay, so I've just fixed up the prompt a bit. And I'm going to say, does he cite work from Noam Shazeer in this video? So let's kick that off and start it doing a search. This is definitely a needle in a haystack. I don't think he actually mentions Noam's name. I don't think he mentions him by name. But it's interesting to see that, okay, that is clearly on one of the slides where they talk about attention's all you need. I don't think he talks about the T5 paper, which is another paper that Noam Shazeer was involved in quite a lot. But let's see what results we get back from this of just asking it a very specific question of, does he cite work from Noam Shazeer in this video? Okay, again, you can see it's taking roughly 70 seconds, and then it comes back. Yes, Jeff Dean cites work from Noam Shazeer in this video. Specifically, he mentions Shazeer's work on the transformer model, which was a major breakthrough in natural language processing. Now, it could be hallucinating a little bit about that he talks about those things. Okay, we can see clearly that Noam Shazeer's name is on here, so it's on the slides and stuff like that. I don't know. If we look in the YouTube transcript, it doesn't look like he actually mentions him by name, which I wouldn't expect him to. But it's showing us that, okay, it's managed to pick that out. It also mentioned in here that Dean also cites Shazeer's work on the Palm model, which is a large language model that has achieved state-of-the-art results. Now, this bit, I think, actually could be using its own internal information as well, in that, yes, Jeff Dean does talk about the Palm model, certainly in there, and it talks about MedPalm after that. but I don't think he has a slide. Just giving it a quick look now, I don't think he has a slide for it that actually lists Noam Shazeer's name. So my guess is that it's internal knowledge. It's got some of those things. So I guess we didn't ask it to just use the video in this case. All right, let's try another question all about Gemini. So let's ask it, what does he say about the training data for Gemini and what time is that in the video? So the times are definitely something that I'm interested to get to here. So again, each of these times that we're making a query here, you can see this is taking quite an amount of time to do this. So I'm either speeding up the video or pausing the video at times, waiting for the response back. It's taking 70 seconds to 90 seconds for some of these. And in my experience, when we add the transcript in, even though the transcript might only be an extra 20,000 tokens, that seems to cause it to even take longer in its responses for going through these things. Okay, so it's come back and says at around the 31-minute mark in the video, Jeff Dean discusses the training data for Gemini. He says that the Gemini is trained on a large collection of web documents, books, and code. He also mentions that Google uses quality filtering of all the data sets, including a combination of heuristics and model-based classifiers. So actually, that was one of the things that I noticed just listening to it earlier on, which was interesting, was the mention of model-based classifiers for determining if something is good quality to train or not. So I think that's certainly done a good job. Let's just check that it's around the 31-minute mark. And sure enough, when we come to around the 31-minute mark, we can see that Gemini training at scale, and I think after this is Gemini training data. So 31:13, it's basically found the slide about Gemini training data. It talks about the things that we just saw, the web documents, books, code, etc. Quality filtering for all data sets, heuristics, plus model-based classifiers. So we can see that the answer that's given really is pretty spot on based on the slides. Now, remember, at this point, it doesn't have what he's actually saying, right? Because we don't have the audio in there. We just have the visuals that are coming from the slides in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically upload the transcript of this. Okay, so I've added the transcript in here. So you can see that it's adding about an extra 15,000 tokens or so. So we're up to 817,000 tokens in here. All right, what I'm going to ask it to do is say, using the transcript and the video slides, can you write me a breakdown of each slide with the time it appears and what was discussed in there? Okay, so I had a little crash there. The UI is still, I think, in sort of testing phase at the moment. A number of you have commented about the whole thing of temperature equals 2 and telling me, you'll actually notice that I can't set the temperature on this model. It's hardwired in there. So it's showing 2, but I don't think that it's using a temperature of 2 for this. All right. The difference now is that we've got the video, which is 801,000 tokens. We've got the transcript, which is another 15,500 tokens. And I'm now going to say, using the transcript and the video slides, can you write me a breakdown of each slide with the time it appears and what was discussed? I'm going to click this. I've found when doing things like this, it actually takes quite a while it can take sort of 2 minutes, perhaps even longer, with the sort of extreme being around about 3 minutes to actually do the inference and start processing the response back. Gemini 1.5 Pro itself is a very snappy model. The only issues come when you're using close to 1 million tokens, that it really starts to take a while to get your results back. Okay, you can see that coming up on past 2 minutes already for this. Another question that people have asked a lot about is the output. Can we sort of generate out hundreds of thousands of tokens? No, generally these things, at least from my experience of using it so far, is that my guess is that you can output in the thousands of tokens, but not the sort of tens of thousands of tokens at a time. So the long context window is mostly for input rather than for generation out. Now, I could be wrong about the precise numbers there. All right, boom, at just under 3 minutes, it's generated a lot of text back here. So let's go through this and we can see. All right, so it's basically got slide 1. It's got some different sort of observations and stuff like that as we go through this. It seems that, okay, then he was talking about a decade of amazing progress, ImageNet, speech recognition. I'm guessing somewhere down here. Okay, TPUs, I know that's in there, definitely. So it talks about different types of TPUs, TPU pods that are in there, going up to the TPU V4s, and then he has some slides around the generation 5 of TPUs. And yes, the slides certainly do talk about the TPU 5E and 5P in there. And then we can see the language model stuff. We can see the Word2Vec paper mentioned there. I don't think he mentions about it winning the Test of Time award at NRIPS this year, but that's interesting as well. Anyway, sequence to sequence, leading up to transformers, leading up to Gemini. And we can see that, okay, we've got Gemini training data, training infrastructure, training at scale. Now, my guess is that he may go back and forth between a few slides here. So the model actually may be treating some slides as 2 slides when it's only 1 going back and forth. Multimodal reasoning, Gemini evaluation. So you can see that we've got a pretty good set of understanding that has come out about the actual slides that have appeared in here. And now they've been combined with the transcript as well, so it can elicit things out of the transcript. So one of the things that Jeff Dean makes as a passing comment is the whole changing of the name from Bard to Gemini. Let's see if we can find that comment in here. Okay, so the prompt I've used is, what does Jeff Dean say about the changing of the name of Bard to Gemini Advanced? Let's just get that started. Okay, we've got our response back, and it says, Jeff Dean acknowledges the confusing change of name from Bard to Gemini Advanced, stating that it happened a few months after he prepared the talk. It clarifies that the current Bard product is powered by a Gemini Pro or Ultra model. So this is something that this idea of the name change, if we come over into the transcript and we do a search for Gemini Advanced, we're not even, trying to find this in the YouTube transcript. It's really quite difficult. So it just shows using the transcript along with the video so that we basically extracting the slides and extracting the text of what he actually said. We're able to get a very strong way for querying videos, for extracting information out, for trying different things out of here. So I'm conscious of time, so I think I'll leave it there with this. As you can see, the Gemini 1.5 Pro model is very good at being able to take videos and then to find information in them and extract them out for this. Just like I did with the sort of book report here, we could then basically take these slides, and then of course we could actually take this material and basically repurpose it. In this case, I'm just putting a prompt, write a blog post out about this talk and what has been mentioned in here. Let's see what it actually gets from using now both the video, the transcript, questions that we've asked, and the responses back in here. Okay, again, you can see that was about another 90 seconds in here. And now we've basically generated out a blog post. Exciting trends in machine learning, a glimpse into the future with Jeff Dean. And then we've got a blog post that talks about the different things that he talked about, talks about some of the key things in there. We didn't ask it to be very specific about any parts of it in this. If we wanted it just to focus on the TPUs or just to focus on Gemini, we could have also asked for that in here. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for this video. As always, if you've got comments, put them in the comments below. It's really interesting to hear people's questions and ideas for trying some things. I will try some of them out. I don't have time to try them all out, but there are definitely some interesting ones that are about fiction books that I saw and stuff like that. And as always, if you found this video useful, please click and subscribe. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye for now.